What's up everybody, 007 here, and today we're going to be installing some extra noodles to our noodle chassis here. If you guys are new to the channel and don't already know, we did have a fabricator install some extra noodles to this car previously. It's all fully welded and boxed in. I do need to tear out this carpet work that I did before and either redo it myself or have a shop do it. But these noodles, in hindsight, I wish I got them extended out to the front of the car. I would open this door to show you, but that's actually part 2 of the reason why we're doing this fender brace installation today, is that my door hinges are really jacked up to a point where I can't even open this door right now. So we've got 2 parts today. Part 1, fender brace install, which is going to involve removing the fenders, and part 2 is going to be changing out the door hinges. Now I'm going to have to do both of them at the same time, since these fender braces do bolt over the door hinges, and since I'm changing out the door hinges, I'm going to brace up the fenders and add some extra noodles in there for some added rigidity.
The quality of being rigid and rigorously severe.
I've already gone ahead and removed the passenger side fender. It was pretty straightforward. Just had a bunch of bolts all throughout the top over there. The hardest one was accessing these 2 right here, and that involved removing this bezel around the headlights. But aside from that, pretty straightforward. I'm really happy that all the metal down here is rust free and super clean, which is very rare for a 1985 GTS. These are the door hinges that I will be replacing. The ones on this door actually work great, since this door opens and closes just fine. But since I'm going through the trouble of doing this on the driver's side, might as well get it done here as well, since I'm bracing the fender, making it stronger, adding noodles to our beautiful noodle chassis. Well, it's not looking too beautiful right now, but it will soon. Don't you worry, little buddy. Don't you worry. Okay, so with the door hitting this fender right here, I gotta figure out how to open the door, because there are fender bolts here behind the door. How are we gonna do this? Maybe we'll take off the bottom bolts here and then move the fender out. That's gonna be the best bet, I think. Now, I do know that a lot of people that watch my channel, they don't actually own an 8.6, so these semi-instructional videos aren't very helpful, I don't think. But I do get a lot of people that I've met both in person and online asking about the 8.6 ownership experience. And all I can really say is I would really recommend, if you're looking to get into this hobby, to not start off with something this old, just because they've gotten to the point where all parts are pretty much rare and super expensive, as well as stuff that you never expect breaking all the time, just because of time, rust, misuse, prior owners, messing with things, not doing things correctly. So what I would recommend is really just getting something newer. I know it's probably going to cost more initially, maybe, but in the long run, believe me, the amount of money that I've spent on this car is in excess of many new medium tier sports cars. And by medium tier, I'm talking like super level.
What? But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Brand new Supra. So yeah, it's not cheap, and you end up with something like this, having to work on it all the time and stuff breaking. So definitely start off with something a little more new. It's going to be more user-friendly. Maybe the electronics won't be, but at least the electronics won't break on you like all these old cars do. I'm constantly chasing electric gremlins with this and the old Subaru, and some of the older cars I've also had in the past. So yeah, I think we may be able to work with this, opening the door now. Hey, there we go. Okay, now we can open the door. Anytime you're tightening screws or bolts into plastic, you always have to be extra careful. You don't need to over torque these, because you will break the brittle old plastics that are on these cars at this point. thankfully removing this guy is just 4 screws and it should slide right out. And now you should be able to see, there we go, one's right there, one's right above it. If you guys have watched the video where I installed the front Zenki bumper and full JDM bumper set, you would know that I had a ton of problems getting this guy to line up properly. Now we're gonna have to remove that, so that's always gonna be fun putting back on. I love undoing work that I've already done before. It just makes me love this hobby so much more. Because, you know, if you love doing it the first time, you're gonna love it even more doing it the second time, and third time, and fourth time, and then eventually paying someone else to do it professionally for you.
My unmatched perspicacity, coupled with sheer indefatigability, makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor.
Not that I speak from experience, of course. With the fenders off the car, the next step is to install these brand new door hinges. I will have these linked down in the description box below. These are the part numbers, as well as the tools that I use and the shirts that I'm wearing. So this particular shirt is the Eurobeat Intensify shirt. It's one of the most popular designs that I have on my website. So if you decide to pick one up for yourself or a loved one, I'd really appreciate that. It'll help support the channel and you'll get a nice cool shirt out of it as well. So thank you guys, and let's continue on with the install, shall we? Okay, let's get this door off the car. I think I'm just gonna have to unbolt it and support it somehow. We'll see. Actually, looking at this further, I might be able to just leave the door as it sits and just replace the door hinges one by one. I'll keep them loose so when I adjust the door, I can move it up and down with that towel trick, and I think that should be good. So I couldn't find a larger 12mm, so what I'm gonna do is put this here, and I actually took off the back of my jack to use as kind of like a breaker bar to get some more leverage. Hopefully my socket doesn't break from having too much torque. And we've got it loose. Door hinge numero uno. So one of these guys is for the top door hinge and the other one's the bottom, because there are 2 sets. Now I'm just gonna match up because I don't remember the part numbers off the top of my head. Oh, I see. One of them has this rounded off portion and the other one's flat. The one that we just took off is the flat one, so I guess that narrows that down. We're going off on a bit of a detour here to take care of the mosquito problem. I have these little tiki torches. These guys I've taken off the top of the tiki torch. Jesus Christ, there's so many of these mosquitoes. I'm gonna light those torches, at least 2 of them around me, just so they stop biting me, because my legs have been getting murdered. This is standard AE86 ritual practice. We're gonna start doing chants soon. If you want to join us, come on by and we can do some dances for the 4 AGE gods. I just love seeing parts, brand new parts, line up properly. So nice. Don't you love the overspray on the bolts the previous owner did with their stellar paint job? Out with the old, in with the new. Looks pretty identical to me. I'm just tightening them down loosely for now, or I guess firmly, but not too tight. Because if it's in the right spot, I'm gonna take it off again and apply some blue Loctite to it to make sure that it doesn't move when we're opening and closing the door during normal use. Just goes to show how precise you need to be with these door hinges. I put them in at what I thought was the same exact spot that the old ones were at, and the door doesn't even line up now. So I'm gonna do the technique that Ezekiel mentions in his video, which is to roll up a towel and put it on the bottom here. That'll simulate the door basically being at the correct position for the hinge. Once we line that up, then I'll tighten everything down. Come on, mosquitoes, I can keep going. We're up to 3 tiki torches. Gonna fortify our defenses. They can't hold on forever. Now that that's totally loose, this door should be able to move up and down pretty easy. I'm just trying to make sure that the striker lines up with the hole that's there. So I've got 2 folds. I'm gonna fold it one more time. I think we got it, so. Beautiful. Now what I'm gonna do is take these guys off one by one, put some blue thread locker on it, Loctite, we'll be good to go. Dear God, my attention span is like so bad. I totally forgot. The noodles. We gotta put the noodles on, guys. What am I doing? I think I'm gonna have to realign the door after. Removing this bolt, just kind of move the door a bit. Unsurprisingly. Gotta think ahead, Sevan. Gotta think ahead. It looks to me like this area right here is the one that interferes with the fender brace. So this part right here needs to be hammered upwards. Using my trusty old hammer, it looks like I may have clearanced it properly. So I bent in that right there, just so it clears. With the door lined up and the bolts secured, all that's left is to drill these 2 holes into the chassis and secure the end of the fender brace to the chassis itself. Since these are brand new holes, there aren't threads in the back for the new bolts to secure to, and T3 has come up with a pretty cool solution here. This guy is gonna slide on back, and the bolts are gonna thread into those riv nuts right there. And then this piece just stays in the car forever. They've got their T3 logo that's gonna show through there, of course, for aesthetics. So let's get to that now. Looks like we've done everything correctly, I hope. The T3 part sticks out there. This guy is secured. Door opens and closes. Perfectly fine. And now we've got the front fender triangulated and hopefully stiffer. I've heard this makes a pretty big difference in terms of chassis stability in the front end. And I mean, that is part of the chassis now, so hopefully it's providing the rigidity.
The physical property of being stiff and resisting bending.
Ideally, I would have continued the half cage, had that welded in, boxed in the corner here, and then maybe from the outside with the fender off, something like this welded in. But this is the next best off-the-shelf solution, I think. I'm pretty tired, I'm losing daylight right now, so I think I'm gonna continue the passenger side tomorrow. So for now, I'm gonna go grab some dinner, and I'll see you guys in a second. All right, new day. Where we left off was this guy has been triangulated, double checked everything, it's nice and tight. New day also means new shirt. I'm wearing the 5-speed If It Shifts It Drifts shirt from driftmerch.com. Check it out, we've got a bunch of shirts, posters, stickers, clocks, wall art, and if you have any suggestions for any designs, I'm always making new designs and putting them up on the website, so check it out, driftmerch.com. Now, if you guys have watched the JDM bumper install video, you'll know that I didn't take the fender off for that installation, and by doing so, I actually didn't realize that there's a little brace here, which is kind of wobbly. I may have to tighten that down on the other side right here. But there's a brace here that connects, and the bumper actually has a little attachment point, and that may be part of the reason why this bumper was so difficult to attach to the fender in the first place, because there was a little stabilizing bar here that holds it up and makes sure it doesn't wobble. So that's good to know. I'm gonna get some bolts for that and attach that right now, and then we'll get the fender in place, and that should be good to go on this side. Okay, so I had to take a bit of a detour here because the door was still contacting the newly installed fender. What I think happened is the few times that I opened and closed the door, it kind of bent the fender inwards, and I just had to take the fender back off and kind of massage it with my hand, like bend it out back towards the original shape. And it looks like I've gotten it pretty good. It's not making contact anymore. Really close though. So I'm gonna tell the body and paint shop whenever they get to painting it, they're probably gonna have to take off the fenders again anyway. I'm gonna tell them to be extra cautious and make sure that everything lines up perfectly front and back. So yeah, that's where I'm at. We're gonna tighten up all these bolts for the fender and we should be done with the driver's side. So the issue I'm having with this side that I didn't have on the driver's side is it seems the T3 fender brace is just a bit too short. I have the bottom bolt bolted up just to show that it is where it needs to be. Now if we slide that up there, look at how far these holes are from lining up. There's no way I can get these to fit. Now I'm gonna send this video to T3 with hopes that they can send me out a new fender brace for the right side on this 8.6. Yeah, there's just no way that's getting on the car. That's not gonna fit. Usually I can make these aftermarket parts work when the fitment's off a little bit, but this is just way too much. If I were to drill it further, it would be at the edge of that bracket, and I just don't think it's gonna be providing that chassis stiffening that is the entire purpose of this part. So I'm gonna let T3 know. Hopefully they send out a new unit to me soon and I could get that on there before the next video. So hopefully next time you guys see this car, the fenders will be back on it and we could get on to the other modifications that I have for this car. I have an appointment with my painter and body shop in mid-October to get this guy painted. So let me know in the comments below what suggestions you guys have for paint color. I'm thinking white or maybe the Panda paint scheme, but if you guys have different color suggestions, something wild, something modest, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Hey guys, I'm coming at you from the future. I'm actually editing the video you're watching right now. I wanted to give you guys an update on the fender brace status. Josh from Techno Toy Tuning reached out pretty quickly after I sent him that email with the video. And about a month later, I got this brand new, fully redesigned set of Techno Toy Tuning braces free of charge. It's really nice of them to do that. I mean, the original one didn't fit, but it's still really nice to get that type of really good customer service from them, and no questions asked. They shipped out a new set. He told me these are fully redesigned to clearance the chassis, to clear the chassis without having to clearance it, meaning you don't have to hammer away at it like I did in my video. I wish I had these beforehand, because then I wouldn't have to hammer at my car. You guys saw the chassis was in pretty perfect condition beforehand. But I guess this would be a really worthwhile upgrade for anybody that doesn't have fender braces on their 8.6. Just having them side by side, the main thing that I could tell right off the bat is that the new redesigned one has a lot more angle to the bend than the original one does. Aside from that, the fit and finish is about the same. The wrinkle powder coat that they have on it is really nice. It looks like it's something that's gonna last for many years to come. The weight is about the same as well. Just looks like that angle is a bit different, and they've updated the T3 logo here to look a little more slick and 80s looking. It looks like they took the T3 from before and just italicized it. Still pretty cool. You're never really gonna see it if you got fenders on your car anyway, but I think it's a nice touch. So I think I'm gonna put the outro here as well, since we're at the end of the video. I'm gonna thank you guys for watching, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. If you loved it, please subscribe. It really helps that YouTube algorithm, and it'll allow you to stay up to date with all of the new videos that we have coming in the future. I'm trying to get back into this YouTube game a little more consistently now and keep you guys up to date on all of the cool changes that we have for both Project 8.6, the 2.5 RS Coupe that we have that I've been slowly maintaining over the past year or so, as well as future project cars to come, because there's, you know me, there's always gonna be something new. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.